So I'm going to be giving you guys a few data science projects that you can complete in a weekend, and it's going to look great on a resume, and it's going to give you great experience in data science. So even if you don't decide to put these projects on your resume, they're still going to give you great experience in different areas of data science, and I think that's a valuable use of your time. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to introduce you guys to Kaggle, which is a great community of data scientists where they have data sets and they have existing projects that people have done on these data sets. So it's a great resource for any data scientist. But anyways, the first project I'm going to introduce you to is a house prices data set. The basic premise of the house prices data set is taking in all these different factors about different house listings and predict the price of the house. If you're a little bit more advanced, sure, you can use some advanced regression techniques, but even if you're a beginner, you can still use basic regression techniques and still complete this project in a pretty efficient way. What this project is going to teach you is a little bit more about exploratory data analysis, understanding what your data is shaped like, what the different variables mean, and how you can treat them. This project's also going to teach you a little bit about feature engineering. So if you want to, you can change some of the variables. Maybe if the house has a pool or not isn't shown directly in the data, maybe it gives you the area of the pool that they have. Well, that might be better off as just treating it as either the house has a pool or doesn't have a pool. So you can get a pretty basic idea of feature engineering and exploratory data analysis, which is a super important aspect of data science. You're gonna have to do it in every single project you do. And if you're a little bit more advanced, you can do things like supervised learning to improve your model. But this is a great project for beginners because it teaches you how to deal with NA values. It teaches you how to do exploratory data analysis, and you can kind of take it as far as you want with different types of regression techniques. So this is going to be project one, and this is going to be a little bit more of a beginner project. Also, for your guys' convenience, I'm going to link all of these down below in the description. So if you want to check out the data sets and check out a little bit what other people are doing with them, go ahead and check out the description below. I'll have those all linked there. All right, the second project I'm going to bring up is the Titanic data set, and you might have heard of this because it's one of the more popular ones that people do. But this is a great resource on Kaggle because a ton of people have already submitted code. So if you get stuck, you can kind of look through and see what other people have done. But the basic premise of the Titanic data set is you're taking in all these different factors, whether they were in first, second, or third class, their age, their sex, and you're going to predict whether or not they survived the Titanic sinking. So if you're a little bit more of a beginner, you might use something like logistic regression, and that's a great start. But if you're a little bit more advanced, you might use something like a decision tree to make a better model that fits this data. Now, once you have kind of a general idea of what you need to do, as long as you have the resources to learn the different packages that you might need, I think this is one that's relatively easy to solve. But why I think this one is so great is because it's actually so popular. A lot of people in the data science community already know of this one. So if you think that's a reason not to do it, then be my guest. You can find a different data set and do similar things. But everybody's going to know the Titanic data set. But if you want to consider putting it on your resume or just do it as a practice project, again, it'll be linked down in the description. I just want to make you guys aware of these projects and the data sets that I would use if I were trying to learn these things for the first time. But if you were just introduced to these two projects for the first time, go ahead and leave a like because it definitely helps me out, and I hope that this video is helping you out with finding some different data sets to practice your data science skills. And now finally, for the last data set that we're going to be talking about is the red wine quality data set from Kaggle. So why I think this is a great data set to work with is that you can do a lot of different things with it. You can work on regression techniques still. You can also work on classification algorithms with machine learning, which is actually how I'm advising you to use this one as a more advanced project. So you can break down the wine data into good or bad based on whatever you decide. So maybe on a quality rating from 0 to 10, there is 7 to 10 is good and below 7 is bad. So that way you can classify these wines based on whether or not they will be good or bad. So that's what I would do. I would look into using PCA, TSNE, and GMM. Now, if you want to learn more about those, I would definitely check those out. There's all kinds of documentation all over the internet. But I think this is a great project for beginners and experienced people alike because I've used this data set for classification, but you can just as easily use it for a more beginner application as well. I hope I gave you guys some ideas for some data science projects. Let me know if you're going to try them out down below in the comments, and also let me know if you have any questions. But if you want to see what the best jobs for statistics majors are next, go ahead and check this video out. Just giving you guys a hint, number one is a data scientist.